Okay, so for my final lesson plan, since I am going to be a personal finance teacher, I went off the personal finance subject. This is a mainly senior oriented class, so I did it for grade 12. Target standards that we're going to be trying to hit are South Dakota Common Core Performance Standard 1, analyze elements that affect personal income. This can be the standard is also explaining controllable factors involving in personal finance. The OSEU standard that we're covering is their poverty, way of life, and development standard, and this critiques consistencies and inconsistencies through a variety of media sources. So I took that in effect with like what things are specifically labeled to be like more Native American forward in terms of just like what different expenses are pushed more towards different races and things like that. Um, I'm having them analyze things that personally affect their income, whether that be bills, their job, loans, debt, groceries, place of living, etc. By knowing where their money is allocated, then they are better able to budget and save and invest and things like that. Um, I had a bunch of different objectives for them, being able to collect data um, for their expenses over a week span, over a month span, so that they're able to calculate things each week to be able to know where their money's going and what they can use, and also seeing if there's a trend of how they're spending their money, why they're doing such a thing as well. A lot of this does have to do with the engagement with the students, knowing what kind of trends they're seeing with their own spending, if they believe these trends are going to be consistent, if they believe that it's getting pushed one way or another, whether that be by the media or by their families, and how that can be affected as well. Because obviously, we all learn from where we get our information from, whether that's from our teachers or from our family, and how we spend money and how we take care of our money is definitely can be two different things. It's a lot of input that comes from me throughout a lecture, but a lot of this is very collaborative as well, doing work with their fellow classmates as well as looking at the lessons and the links that we'll provide for them to be able to take all this information and apply it to their own daily lives. Mainly just trying to make sure that they know that if they're spending money or getting or also bringing money in, where it's going, why it's going to certain places, how different factors can affect these things, and if there is any sort of just like background or racial factors that can go into how they're either receiving or spending their own money. Couple different assessments for that as well. Um, Starting with just the initial submission, like how they spend their money during a daily week. Couple different small-sided, small group things in the middle of the lesson, and then an exit ticket where they submit a week a week long submission for how they spend their money, where it goes, and how much money they still have to save. And this should cover all six of the levels of Bloom's taxonomy before they end up submitting their final assessment.